Okay, so today we are going to see about the classes in Oracle actually. Okay, classes in Oracle. So we are going to see about the classes in Oracle. So we are already familiar with this all classes actually. So you know you are writing the queries like select star from table name. Select star from table name. So select is one class, from is the another class. Okay, so from class is used to provide the table names and which table I need to retrieve the data. From class is used to retrieve the data from the tables. Okay, from which table I need to take the data. Okay, so from which table? So the source you are going to mention in this place from class. Okay, so then select class. So what are the columns you required from the source? So you have like a EMP is your source. So from that, what are the columns is required for you that can fetch from the select query. If you mention like star, it fetch all the columns from the table. Mention like only one of the column or two columns, it will fetch from the required column information from your table. Employee number from EMP. Okay, so if you mention like another column, it will give the two column information. Okay, from class and from class and select class is the mandatory classes of any query. So if you miss any one of this query, see I'm missing like a table from class here. It will display like a from keyword not found where expected. So if you miss like a, now we miss the from class, then you can miss the select query. Class, miss the select class. This is your actual query. So now I'm going to remove the select class from your query. So it is giving unknown command. Unknown command. So you cannot able to run without any one of the class. So you must maintain the two things mandatory. Okay, so these two are the mandatory classes of any query. Any query. Okay, so now we'll use like a select star from EMP. So we are using here. So now we need to retrieve the data. So required information, you need to filter the data from your queries. Okay, so now I need to retrieve like a Smith information from my table, Smith information. Okay, so I'm saying like where ename equal to Smith. Trying to retrieve the data about the Smith. You are able to get the data. So you are not getting any issues. If you miss the where class also, you won't get any trouble. So you will get the extra records. So you won't, it is not giving any trouble for you if you miss the where class. If you miss the from class, either from class or select query, you are going to get the error because the two classes are the mandatory classes. So these two classes are the mandatory classes. So these are the where class is the optional. So when you will go with where class, if you want to filter out any data from the base tables అంటే ఫ్రమ్ క్లాస్ లో ఏదైతే టేబుల్ యూజ్ చేశారో ఆ టేబుల్ ఏ కంటెంట్ ఉందో ఆ కంటెంట్ బేస్ టేబుల్ అంటున్నాం. If you mention like DPT, so that is your base table now. So whatever the table you are mentioning in the from class, that we can call it as a base table. Okay, so a base table you may have like 100 records. Now we have like here 14 records. Out of 14 records, you are going to filter something about your requirement. So meeku edaithe requirement undo, so now I need to retrieve the Smith information. So I'm getting the Smith information here. So I'm filtered like 13 records. So what are the required information for me? So I'm going to filter that from all the records. So this is like a where class. Okay, so now group by class. So another thing is group by class. Okay, so where class we see about where class. Now we have the group by class. Okay, so group by class is used to group the data. So group by class is also optional. Is used to group by, it group the data of any grouping format. So ela ante now group eppudu if you are staying like more than one, you can call it as a group. So if you are staying alone, you are not the group member. So you are like alone. You are standard alone of one member. So if you are staying more than one, you can call it as a group. So now your EMP table is having the 14 records. If all 14 records are the one group, okay, treat like as these are all employees. Now I need to find out so who is getting the maximum salary? The maximum salary. The maximum salary from all the employees. So ఇందులో ఎవరు highest earn చేస్తున్నారు, if you want to find out like who is earning the highest money from all the employees. Now we'll use the max function for that, max of salary. It will give, so max of sal. You will get the maximum salary here. So check with the employee table, see the salary information in this. It's starting with 800 and ending with 5,000. So you are getting the highest value from this using the max function. These are all the aggregate functions or grouping functions we can call. So if you want to know about the group by class, okay, first we need to know the group functions. Okay, so max function is used to find out the maximum salary of that particular group. So now we are treating like a 14 employees is one group. Okay, and you are finding the maximum salary, correct? Now I need to retrieve the employees from, see, we have like a department information in this table, 10, 20, 30. Okay, now I need to find out department wise the maximum salary. I'm not looking for like, now we have like employees, 14 employees. I'm bifurcating that into 3 parts. Department wise, I'm bifurcating into 3 parts. Okay, 10 is one department, 20 is another, and 30 is another. Now I want to find out that. So we'll use this function like where DPT number equal to 10. Want to 30, so mention like a 30. So if you want like 10, we'll use the 10 or 20, anything. So you will use the where class and you need to perform this, correct? Now to simplify our work, Oracle has introduced the group functions, group by class. To work with group functions, Oracle has introduced the group by class. Now, instead of doing this one by one in the where class, okay, so make it as see, department wise. I'm saying like a department wise. Now I'm looking for the department number I required, and the maximum salary is also required for me. Now I'm trying to retrieve that. So it is showing not a single group or group function. So this is your group function because you are using the maximum value. Max you will see about more than one employee information. Minimum, maximum, average. Average ఎప్పుడు చూస్తాం మనం? If you have more than one employee, if you want to find out the average of all the employees, we'll go with the average function. Minimum కూడా more than one ఉన్నప్పుడే minimum అవుతుంది. So if you are as a standard alone, so your value will become like as a minimum value is the same, maximum is the same, average also same. So we want to use the to work as an individual, we won't use any group functions or group operators. So in case if you want to use the group functions, you must know about the group by class. Okay, now we are trying to retrieve the department wise the maximum salary. Now it is saying like So you are using like it's not a single group or group function. So select list lo idi group function. Max of all అనేది group function. Okay. So other than that, if you are using any non-grouped columns, so this is the group function column. Max of all is the group function column. This is the non-grouped column. Okay. So whatever the non-grouped columns we are mentioning in this select list. గ్రూప్ ఫంక్షన్ కాకుండా మీరు చేయాలనుకున్న గ్రూపింగ్ వాల్యూ కాలం కాకుండా వేరే ఏ కాలం అయినా సెలెక్ట్ లిస్ట్ లో మెన్షన్ చేస్తే సో దాట్ నీడ్ టు బి మెయింటైన్డ్ ఇన్ గ్రూప్ బై క్లాస్, గ్రూప్ బై డిపిటి నెంబర్. Okay, now I am bifurcating that total value into the multiple parts. So based on which column you are going to divide that parts, that you need to mention in the group by class. Got it? So you need to find out like a total population of India. So we'll use the sum function to count the count function. So we'll go with the see now. We'll go with the. Now I need to treat like I say your EMP table is your population table. Select start from EMP. Now you are getting the data in this. We have like millions of records. You cannot able to compare like how many records we have in this. So you cannot able to see like this. Then use the count function for that. Will get all the population information from your table. Now I need to bifurcate that total population into caste wise. Okay, now I need to bifurcate the data into caste wise. Now if you want to maintain as a caste, so treat like I say department number is your caste. Okay, so total population, just I am provided some alias name here. Caste and total population. Just I provided alias names, reference names. So so nicknames, similar kind nicknames. This is your actual column. This is your nickname or alias name. Now again you are getting the same issue, not a group or group function. Okay, so now take this group, non-grouped column, put that into group by class, group by DPT number. See here, caste name, caste name, the caste name, caste name, and you are taking the 6 plus 5 plus 3. So total 14 records. 6 plus 5, 11, 11 plus 3, 14. So you have the total employees 14. So if you want to do these grouping things, we'll use the group by class. So if you want to work with group functions, you must need to know about the group by class. So without group by, we cannot able to use the group functions in our class. You may use like a select max of sal. So this is you can able to use without group by class. So if you want to bifurcate that into multiple groups, we'll go with the group by class. Okay, now we are bifurcating the data by group wise. Now we mention here. Okay, so I don't want to see, I'm not mentioning like here we have, so let's start from EMP. Okay, EMP is having here. Now I'm saying like now I need to do the bifurcation like department wise. I need to do that, and again I need to divide that into job wise. So we have like multiple departments. Inside that there may be a bifurcation like a team member or lead or something like right? So in the same way, we have the jobs like a clerk, salesman, analyst, okay, manager, president. We have this type of variety of job categories we have. Now I need to bifurcate the data department wise. How many clerks we have, how many analysts we have, that I need to find out. Okay, for that. So now you can able to find out here. Okay, so count. count star. Okay, so count function will help you to count the number of employees, count the number of records. Okay, now you are dividing into groups. Okay, you divided. Now I am looking for like a again bifurcation. Okay, world నుంచి తీసుకున్నప్పుడు you will divide into country wise. Okay, country నుంచి చూసుకున్నప్పుడు again you will split that into state wise. అర్థమవుతుందా? So the same way now I am going to divide into department number and job wise I am filtering the records. Now you are getting the not a group by expression because this department number you use in the group by class. You forget to mention about the job column in a group by class that you need to mention in this place. Okay, see, sort the data in the department wise. We have 3 people total, so everyone is in the individual job category. Everyone is in an individual category. See here in the 20th we have analyst 2, clerk 2 and manager is 1. Okay, now if you want to do these type of things we will go with the group by class. Okay, so here what are the group functions we have? First we can see that sum function. So it is used to do the sum of all group members. So if you want to find out the sum of salary, so how much you are paying money for all the employees, if you want to find out, so use like a select sum of sal from me, sum of salary from MP. Okay, 29,025 rupees you are making payment for all the employees, total employees. You haven't bifurcated anything. Now, so if you want to find out the number of employees in your table, okay, then you will use the count function for that. Count. It counts the number of records in your table. Okay. Now, so if you want to find out the who is getting the maximum salary, so we'll use the max function. Okay. So who is getting the minimum salary? Minimum salary. So maximum salary, minimum salary. So I'm saying like an average of salary. Total salary is this. Average salary is 2073. So maximum 5,000, minimum is 8,000. See, we have like these people are is having less than the average salary of the people. So average salary చూసినప్పుడు 207 కన్నా average salary తక్కువ ఉన్న వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారు. Okay. Okay, average, minimum, maximum, sum. So we have any other group functions? No, we done with all things. Sum, minimum, average, count. These are all the group functions which is used to grouping the value. For every group it will display one value. So if you have like 10 rows, you will get only one value. If you are the group is having thousands of rows, you will get only one value for each and every group. Okay, so now I am doing with the group by department number. Group by department number comma job. See, I haven't put anything in this place. So I put some grouping columns in this place. Now I supposed to do the grouping of these 2 columns. Department number wise and the department wise, sorry, job wise, I need to make the group. See, now I haven't mentioned any non-group column in the select list, but I directly mentioned in the group by class. Directly I mentioned in the group by class. see, you haven't get any trouble. ఓకే సో ఇప్పుడు స్టేట్ బైఫర్గేషన్ జరిగింది. స్టేట్ బైఫర్గేషన్ అనేది సో ఎప్పుడో కాంగ్రెస్ గవర్నమెంట్ ఎప్పుడో డిసైడ్ అయి ఉంటాడు వాడు, ఎప్పుడో డిసైడ్ అయ్యి స్టేట్ ని బైఫర్గేట్ చేసేసుకున్నాడు. సో ఆల్ ది రూల్స్ అండ్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ హాస్ బీన్ ఇంప్లిమెంటెడ్ ఫ్రమ్ ది బ్యాక్ ఎండ్ అండ్ హీ అనౌన్స్డ్ అఫిషియల్లీ ఆఫ్టర్ ఫ్యూ మంత్స్. అర్థమవుతుందా? ఆ అఫిషియల్లీ అనౌన్స్ చేసిన తర్వాత వీ గెట్ టు నో ద స్టేట్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ బైఫర్గేటెడ్ విత్ దిస్ క్యాపిటల్స్ అండ్ దీస్ ఆర్ ది థింగ్స్ హ్యాస్ బీన్ కేటగరైజ్. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో కేటగరీ బైఫర్గేషన్ చేసేటప్పుడు ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు నో లైక్ యాజ్ ఎ పబ్లిక్ యూ నీడ్ టు మెన్షన్ దాట్ దిస్ bifurcation rules and regulations in the select list. You are going to divide the state into multiple parts. Based on which category you are going to divide, that you need to showcase with expose that. We'll use that in the group by column list in the select list. If you want to hide on which base you are bifurcating the state, then exclude this in the select list. అర్థమవుతుందా? So if you want to expose that based on which category you are going to divide, that you can mention in the select list. So if you want to, I don't need any exposures to the any other persons. So if you want to hide that for security reasons, okay, then you can bifurcate that directly putting into the group by department number. Okay, see here, if you want to see like this 9400 is for which department, you cannot able to identify. This is for 10875. This is for which record, so which department, you cannot able to identify this. So if you want to easily identify that, we will mention like a department number column in the select list. Now you can able to identify advantage of this by putting in the select list. Got it right? Any doubt? Okay, so if you want to put like whatever the columns you are mentioning here. So if you are saying like I'm going to bifurcate the state into two parts, either Telangana and AP. So you are saying like we are going to provide special status for these people. You are not going to provide this special status for Telangana annappudu. You need to mention that special status rules and regulations in your select. You are saying in the select list. You are exposing to outside. That exposure need to be maintained as a documented. So that as a group by class. మీరు ఏదైతే రూల్స్ అండ్ రెగ్యులేషన్స్ మెన్షన్ చేస్తారో కంపల్సరీ వీ నీడ్ టు మెయింటైన్ దాట్ ఇన్ టు ది గ్రూప్ బై క్లాస్. Okay, so whatever the things you are mentioning in the select list, that columns must and should be present in a group by class. See, now we have only department number column. Now again I need to split that into job wise. I need to bifurcate. Now I am doing the bifurcation, but you cannot able to identify on which base I have. So this is for the job, which job. So category you are not able to identify here. Okay, now I am removing in this place. I'm putting that into this place. Department number comma select job, select department number job comma the remaining columns I am going to mention. We will get the not a group by expression. So whatever the columns you are mentioning as a non-group column in the select list, that all columns must and should be in a group by class. Whatever the columns you are mentioning in the group by class, that may or may not in a select list. Got it? Any doubt? No, right? So we done with this now. Okay, now we'll see about another classes, having class. So now we have this group of information about the three category groups. We have departments. We did that. Now I need to find out on which department is having more than 3 people. Those employee information I need to retrieve. So now I need the grouping information. Again, I need to filter the results. So if you want to filter the results, we'll use the where class. Correct? So where class is used to filter the data from the tables, from the actual table. Now you have the results of grouping results. So ikkada group chesina tarvata vachina results anedi undi. We have the results. This is your result set. Now I need to filter the data from this result. Now I need to filter the data from these results. So which department is having more than 3 employees? Those records only I need to display from the results. I don't want to display like who is having the less than 3 or 3. So for that reason, so I cannot able to use in the where class. Okay, maybe you may think like so try to use the where class where. Okay, so where we need to use the count of employees. So on which department we is having that, we need to use that count of employees greater than 3. Now see here, it is giving the error. Not group functions is not allowed here. Group functions is not allowed here. Here in the sense in the where class. So you cannot able to use the group functions in the where class. So if you want to filter the data, okay, so if you want to filter the data in this situation, you need to depend on inline view. I already explained about the inline view will help you to filter the data. So see, now I'm making as a select star from. So here I'm mentioning like a only required column like a count. I'm removing this all the other columns here. Okay, so now I'm making as a table this. So I'm passing the select query as a table name in from class. Now I'm trying to filter the data. So where count star greater than 3. This is my column name, right? So now I need to use directly for this column. It give the group functions is not allowed here because you provided the column name here, but this is not your column name. So you are not selecting this column name in this place. Okay, so for that you need to make some alias name C and T and use that alias name in your place. You can able to filter the data by using inline view with where class. Okay, by using inline view, we can able to use the where class. Okay, now, so there is some dependency here. So you are doing some more modifications of query. So you are doing some additional work here. So I don't want to do these type of things. Simply I need to use to filter the data directly from your query. So having count star greater than. So you don't need to use any inline views or anything. So you can able to filter the data directly using the having class. Having class is used to filter the data on grouping results. So grouping చేసిన తర్వాత వచ్చిన results లో నుంచి, so if you want to filter out anything, we'll use the having class. Okay, now we are using like a having count star greater than 1. So ఏమవుతుంది having class లో no, you can able to use the group functions. Count star అనేది group function. Okay, and I'm trying to filter the data is having count star అన్నాం కదా. సో ఇక్కడ EPT number equal to 30 అంటాను. So how the where class is working, the same way is also working here. So if you want to use like this, see, instead of doing in the having class, try to use directly in the where class. Getting the same results. Okay, so but having class mainly used to perform the having mainly to filter the data of grouping results. So you observe something differences here, having class and where class. So where class is used to filter the data from the base tables. Okay, having class is used to filter the data from your grouping results. Okay, and another difference. So grouping class is not allowed in the where class. Group functions is not allowed in where class. So whereas in the having class, it allows the group functions and as well as non-group columns. So here I mentioned like a department number equal to 20. So 30. This is your non-group column. You can able to use directly group functions in directly in having class. Okay. So this is about the classes. Here we left with the order by class. Now select star from EMP. See here, employee name is started with the S and Allen. Again word Jones. There is no order of the employee names. Now I need to display the employee names with in the respective order. It may be ascending or descending. Okay. So if you want to display the data, so order by name. Name, you need to mention like a ascending. Ascending meaning ASC, ascending. See, it started with AD, then AL, Blake, C, F, W is came to the end of the result. Okay, this data won't be changed in the actual table. So you are going to display the output in the screen with the respective order or whatever the order you are mentioning in the respective order. It is displaying on screen. You are not at all touching the base data. సో ఎంప్లాయీ టేబుల్లో ఏదైతే డేటా ఉందో ఆ డేటా అనేది చేంజ్ అవుతుంది. యు ఆర్ నాట్ అట్ ఆల్ మ్యానిపులేటింగ్ ఎనీథింగ్. సో డేటా చేంజ్ అవుతుంది అంటే either need to be perform update or insert or delete. So the DML operation need to be performed. So just you are selecting the data. సో బేస్ టేబుల్లో ఏ రెస్పెక్టివ్ ఆర్డర్లో నువ్వు డేటా ఇన్సర్ట్ చేసావో అదే ఆర్డర్లోనే డిస్ప్లే అవుతుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? సో దిస్ ఈజ్ అబౌట్ ది order by class. Now we are mentioning like a order by ascending. Now I'm mentioning like a descending. W to A, it is display, correct? If you forget to mention either ascending or descending, so if you forget to mention the data type size of character, it will take the minimum length. If you forget the size of the number data type, it will take the maximum length of the number data type. Okay. In the same way, if you forget to mention the order by class, either ascending or descending, it will treat like as a it is you are looking for the ascending order. By default, it will sort the data in ascending order. See, it will come to A to Z. Okay, so order by class, group by class, and having class are optional. But select class and from class is mandatory classes. Everything will optional. Okay. Now distinct class. Distinct. So distinct class will help you to display the eliminate the duplicate records into the table. So now we have this employee table. Now I am trying to insert the data into my table. Insert into EMP. Now I have inserted the data. See, my employee table is having 2 records. 7369, 7499. Every record has inserted duplicate. Okay. Now, if you want to display this, we'll use like a select star from EMP. Correct. Now you are getting the duplicate records. Now, how can we need to know, like you need to know, so how many records we have? 28. whether it have the duplicates or not. So how can you identify? Simply distinct star from, it will give the count like a 14. So total count minus distinct count, you will get to know how many records we have the duplicates. So 28 minus 14. So 14 records need to duplicates ఉన్నాయి. అర్థమవుతుందా? So now we have this. Distinct class is used to eliminate the duplicate result in the results on screen, not on the base table. So base table లో మీరు డేటాను చేంజ్ చేయట్లేదు. On result set లో మీకు duplicates ని remove చేసి చూపిస్తుంది. It will display the duplicate. It eliminate the duplicate from the results. అర్థమవుతుందా? So everything will same. So it done with the classes of things. Okay. So see some examples of this. So select class. It is used to retrieve the required columns data from the table. Okay. From which table I need to retrieve? From which table, what are the columns information I need to retrieve? That you need to mention in the select list. Then from class. It is used to retrieve the data from which tables. So many a table నుంచి data ni retrieve చేయాలి. That you are going to mention here. Where class. It is used to provide the conditions. ఎందుకు conditions provide చేస్తావు? Conditions will help you to filter the data. అర్థమవుతుందా? కండిషన్స్ అనేటివి ఫిల్టర్ చేయడానికి కోసం డేటాని యూజ్ చేస్తాం. ఓకే, ఇట్ ఈస్ యూజ్డ్ టు ఫిల్టర్ ద డేటా ఫ్రమ్ ది బేస్ టేబుల్స్. ఓకే, ఇట్ వోంట్ అలో గ్రూప్ ఫంక్షన్స్ అండ్ అలియాస్ నేమ్స్ ఇన్ ద వేర్ క్లాస్. సో గ్రూప్ ఫంక్షన్స్ లో అలియాస్ నేమ్స్ ని ప్రొవైడ్ చేయలేం. సో meaning here you are saying like a department number as a case name, cache name. Now I am trying to retrieve the data by using actual column. You are able to see here department number equal to 30. It is allowing to do. Now I am providing alias name. Now the system will treat like as a cache name is invalid identifier. So alias names you cannot able to use in the where class. Okay, group by, so what we can say, group functions also we cannot able to use in the where class. Got it? So this is about the classes, where class. Then group by class. It is also optional class. Where class is also optional. Group by class is also optional. Okay, so class of a select statement. The group by class subsets a results into groups. So in the total group ni you are going to make it as a, so you are going to make it as a subgroups. So total group you have like 14 employees. You are going to bifurcate that into multiple parts. So we'll use the group by class for that. Okay, so it is used to make the data into group format. It is not possible to provide the group functions along with normal columns in a select statement without using by group by class. Select list లో group functions కాకుండా normal columns యూజ్ చేసేదానికి possible అవ్వదు without group by class. Okay, then important things you need to remember here. All the columns used beside the aggregate functions must be included in the group by class. So in the besides, so the starting of the point and avachchu, ending of the end of avachchu, that all columns must and should be maintained in the group by class. Okay, the group by class does not support the use of column aliases. You must use the actual columns. So మీరు group by class లో కూడా alias names ని యూజ్ చేయలేరు. So you need to use the actual columns of the table. Okay, the group by columns may or may not appear in the select list. So select list లో ఉండాల్సిన అవసరం లేదు. So you no need to display that. Okay, so then group by class can only use with aggregate functions like a sum, average, count, max and a min. Okay, if it is used with a single row functions, The Oracle error, you will see this error, Oracle error. So Oracle error message appears as not a group by expression. Okay. So we about this classes, having class. So it is an also optional class. Having class restrict the grouping selections, group selections which are the results of a group by class. So group by class నుంచి వచ్చిన తర్వాత, so if you want to restrict the results to display, so meaning it is filtering the grouping results. అర్థమవుతుందా? We'll use the having class. Okay, so having class is used to filter or restrict the groups formed by the okay, so the having class can also preceded the group by class, but this is not logical and is not recommended all grouping for form. Okay, and group functions exceeded prior to the evolution of having class. So అన్ని places లో having class ని యూజ్ చేయాల్సిన అవసరము రాదు. So wherever you need to filter the data, will use the having class. So if you no need to put on the all the places of a having class. Okay, so if you are seeing like group by class, there may be a chance to use the having class or not. So may or may not you will use the having class. So if you are seeing like having class, you cannot able to write the having class without group by class. Okay, see, now I'm removing this where class and okay, no need, right? So you, if it is optional, now we are saying like a department number equal to 30 by group wise. Now I'm trying to use directly without the group by having class. Give the not a group by expression. Okay, so I'm not providing any alias name here, simply directly I'm providing. So where DPT number equal to 30, because this is the reason you are going to mention that having constant greater than equal to 2. So you cannot able to write having class without group by. Okay, now I'm trying to see. Now I'm trying to write without group by. Now I'm trying to write without group by. Having constant greater than or equal to 6. Okay, so this is the only situation you can able to write, but you need to say we cannot able to use group by class, so having class without group by class. So now see here. So without having class, you can able to use the group by class. Okay, so this is about the having class. Order by class is used to filter the data or sort the data, not the filter. To sort the data, we'll use the order by class, either ascending or descending. Okay, so now we have another class like a distinct. So distinct class will help you to remove the duplicates from the results. Remove the duplicates from the results. Okay, so we'll use the okay, so distinct class will help you to remove the duplicates from the results, not from the base table. It is not deleting any duplicates from the page table. So instead of distinct, you may use like iniq also. So how that iniq constraint is working? So we have like a total 28. We'll get like a 14 records here. If you see, like if you use the iniq, iniq also will help you to remove the duplicates from the results. So this is about the classes for today. Okay, so we done with everything here. So we are going to start with functions by tomorrow. So I'm going to share the documents if you have the option. So please go through that. Okay, so else I will share the video also if you require. So మీరు ఏంటంటే ఒక్కసారి బ్రష్ అప్ చేసుకొని వస్తే మీరు గో త్రూ అయితే నేను చెప్పినప్పుడు స్పీడ్గా ఎక్కుతుంది. అర్థమవుతుందా? So because I will finish this fast actually due to we are already familiar with this all the classes and everything. So where class tells maniki, from class tells to select class tells. So you are not aware about only two classes having and group by. So order by class also we see about sometimes. So because if you I will share the links in the group. So please go through one time of the functions. So మనం ఏమేం ఫంక్షన్స్ గురించి మాట్లాడుతున్నామో ఒకసారి చూసుకున్న తర్వాత we'll see about by tomorrow. Okay. So I'm going to stop here.